Welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. And as always, we're back with another massive show to bring you all this morning. But before we jump into that, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's get straight on into it. So on the show this morning, we're going to be talking about Manchester United in hot pursuit of a new centre-back. We'll be running through all of the different options that we're being linked to at the moment. We'll explain why Manchester United are looking at this centre-back and go into some other depth on that as well. We'll also be talking a little bit about the Antony situation. He is officially back in training at Carrington today. Obviously, we have got a match today, so he's not going to be part of the matchday squad. That's obvious, but he is apparently going to be in training today at Carrington with, not all of the coaches go to the game, so there will still be people at Carrington available to train with him, with the other injured players and all the rest of it. So we will talk a little bit about that. Also talk a little bit about Jadon Sancho, some other stories to get into as well. We'll also do a bit of a preview of the game today. Obviously the Crystal Palace match, 3 o'clock UK time kickoff. Lots and lots to get into. As always, please do get involved in the comment section, get involved in the live chat, have your say, and let me know what you think on everything we discuss on this morning's show. So let's start off with the Antony story then. So, obviously, for anybody who missed the shows yesterday, Antony is officially being reinstated as a Manchester United player. He will be training today at Carrington individually, away from the rest of the team, obviously, because we have a match day. And apparently he'll be available for selection from next week onwards. So that could either be the Galatasaray game midweek, or it could be the Brentford game on the weekend. We'll have to wait and see. Erik ten Hag was asked about Antony in his press conference yesterday. So as always, there's two parts of the press conference. There's one part that goes live at around lunchtime, 1 p.m. UK time. And then there's another part which comes live at about 10 o'clock p.m. Last night. So I watched that one just now, and Erik ten Hag was asked about it, and he said he hasn't really spoken to Antony yet properly, because he was asked, how is Antony's mental state at the moment? Obviously he's had this situation going on. Is he okay? Is he able to actually play games? Is he in the right headspace and all the rest of it? And Erik ten Hag said at this point, I don't know. I haven't spoken to him, but I haven't spoken to him in depth enough to know how he is feeling at this moment in time. But there is a hope that he will be available to start games as soon as next week. Apparently he was still doing some form of training in Brazil, not obviously with Manchester United, because Manchester United aren't in Brazil, but you know what I mean. He was doing training with coaches and stuff, so he has been able to keep up his fitness. I doubt he'll be ready to start matches, but maybe he'll be able to be a sub and come on for 20 or 30 minutes. Let me know in the live chat in the comment section, how big of a boost do you think it is for Manchester United to have Antony back? Are you excited to see him back? Do you prefer the team without him? Let me know what your thoughts are in the live chat and in the comment section. For me, I think at this moment in time, I think we need as many options as we can. I agree that Antony is a little bit limited as a player. Let's say that. I think he works hard, which is really good. He defends well, which is really good. He clearly has that drive to be a Manchester United player. He puts in 120% every single game, which I think is really, really important. I think he seems to be a bit afraid to take on his man, which I don't know why. Maybe that's something he's been told, to take out of his game. And he also seems to be afraid to cross the ball into the box. If he got those two things sorted out, I think he would be an exceptional player for us. But he's only been here one season, so he's got my full support, Antony. I think he's definitely someone who could go on to be a very, very special player in the coming years. The thing you have to remember with him, right, is he's only 23 years of age, right? He's still very, very young, 23. Most players don't reach their prime until they're, 26, 27? He's 3 or 4 years away from that. So there's still a lot of developing for Erik ten Hag to do. And I really, really like Antony. I know a lot of people really criticised him last season, but I think there's a real player in there. It was ever since he did that stupid spin in the Europa League, wasn't it? That, his little trademark spin thing. People have just disliked him since then. They've thought that he was a bit of a, I don't know, all of the UK media went after him saying it's a disgrace. Why is he doing that? He did a spin and then kicked the ball out of play, didn't he? And ever since then, I feel like there's been a bit of an agenda against him from the kind of talk sport, Gabby Agbonlahor types of the world, who seem to just pick up on one story, probably watch a 30-second clip of one player once, and then that's it. Their decision's made up on them. And I think that's a bit unfair. I think he's definitely a good player. And I'm looking forward to seeing him back in Manchester United, to be honest, because I think the game today, we're probably going to see Mason Mount starting out on that right wing, which, I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't really watch Chelsea that much, so I never really saw Mason Mount playing on the right wing, but I've got quite a few friends who are Chelsea fans, and they've said that Mason Mount was really good on the right wing. It was actually his best position at Chelsea. It was where he was the most effective. So I'm up for seeing it today. I'm up for seeing how Mason Mount gets on in that right wing position. I think Mason probably will start out there. I think we'll then have a midfield probably of Casemiro, hopefully Hannibal, and then hopefully Bruno Fernandes as our kind of midfield three. Amrabat in at left back because obviously Reguilon's injured and the other two, Luke Shaw and Malacia, are still injured. So I think we will see Mason Mount out on that right wing. But let me know what you think about that one. 1 second. Right. Yeah, let me know what you think about the Antony situation. Are you looking forward to seeing him back, and when do you think he'll be back? I think he'll probably be on the bench for the game against Brentford a week today. I don't think we'll see him against Galatasaray. I think that's too soon. That's like 3 days away. Yeah, I think it's too soon. But let me know what you think. How big of a boost is it for Antony to be back at Manchester United? I'm happy about it. I'm looking forward to seeing him back. I think he's a good player. I think he's still got a lot to give, and yeah, I'm all for it. The story also goes on to say this. So this is coming out from a journalist in the UK this morning, saying that apparently Antony's return to Carrington was rubber stamped following a crucial meeting with Manchester United's women's team on Friday. In a bid to ensure the women's team felt comfortable at his return to the training ground, Director of Football John Murtagh and Chief Communications Officer Ellie Norman held a team meeting to explain the club's reasoning. So it looks like they've handled this situation slightly different to how they handled the Mason Greenwood situation, doesn't it? The Mason Greenwood situation, it seemed like they'd already made up their decision. That got leaked, and then it ended up being really bad, didn't it? You know, everyone knew that Manchester United were going to bring him back, but they hadn't told the women's team, they hadn't told people at the staff and all the rest of it. And then there was all of this media outrage and all the rest of it. So it looks like with the Antony one, they have learned from their mistakes. They've approached the women's team. They've approached the people around the club to, you know, get their approval first. Whether or not they need their approval is up to you. It's up to you to decide. I'm not going to sit here and say whether that's right or wrong, because I don't think that's really the point of this point, you know, of this topic. But I think they've done it in the correct way this time, you know. Because obviously the Mason Greenwood situation, if Manchester United had informed the women's team first, had informed some of the staff at Carrington first, we probably would be seeing Mason Greenwood play for Manchester United right now. We would, I think. Al says, did the women's team object to Greenwood? Well, you know, we saw what happened with Mason Greenwood, right? What happened was, it got leaked by The Athletic that Manchester United CEO Richard Arnold had already confirmed that he would be brought back, okay? But without the approval of the women's team, the coaches, the players, whatever, okay, all of those types of people, he just decided for himself, which I mean is his job. He should be doing that. He shouldn't be asking. He shouldn't like be making a decision purely based on somebody else. He's being paid mega money to make the big decisions. You know, like you can't blame it on someone else. Anyway, so it gets leaked that he's made the decision without anybody's approval. All of the media go absolutely crazy, and then 2 days later they say he's not coming back. Do you see where I'm going with this? Whereas this seems to have been handled very differently. It said that prior to the story being announced that he was coming back, they spoke to the people, and it says the meeting went through the background and facts of Antony's case while also providing the learnings implemented from the handling of the Mason Greenwood case. It is understood players were offered one-to-one meetings if they wanted to discuss it further, but no issues were raised, and Mark Skinner's squad was said to be positive about the explanations provided. So, as it says there, and as I just said, ultimately, Manchester United were trying to do everything they could to handle it differently to how they handled the Mason Greenwood situation, because the Mason Greenwood situation, regardless of whether you were happy with the outcome or not, was handled in an absolutely disgraceful way. I think we can all agree on that, right? The whole situation from start to finish was handled absolutely awfully. I think how the Antony situation's been handled has been much better. You know, he's been out for 2 or 3 weeks. Obviously, he hasn't had any charges actually. He hasn't actually been charged yet, which is very different to Mason. Mason was charged with all of these things from the off, whereas Antony hasn't been charged yet. They're just investigating him. So it's a very different situation, you know. But yeah, it looks like Manchester United have learned their lesson. They have done it in the correct order this time. Whether or not you think the women's team needs to be consolidated, that's up to you. You know, that's not really up to Manchester United have decided to do it. So whether you think that's correct or not is up for you to decide. Let's see what else people say. Somebody says, so does this mean he's free of Gabriella Noncellini? I don't know, mate. I'm not sure. I haven't really been following the actual case that much. All I know is that there was 3 alleged victims. One of them's dropped out, and 2 of them are still trying to pursue legal action against him, but he hasn't actually been charged with anything. So it's very different, isn't there? Somebody says the difference is there was no evidence leaked against Antony. Exactly. The situation with Mason Greenwood was whether you think what happened, or whether you thought it was all a lie or whatever, that's up to you. But it was very difficult to ignore what people heard and saw on that Twitter post a year or so ago about Mason Greenwood. I mean, it was there. There was audio, there was video, there was all this stuff, you know? Whereas with Antony, it's just somebody on Twitter being like, Antony did this to me, and it's then Antony like, I didn't do anything, and it's a bit of a, it's a bit more of a farce, isn't it, at this point? But maybe, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Sweet Brothers Comedy says, will Rashford be available for today's match? Yes, Rashford will be available for the game today. The only people, well, I say the only people, most of our team aren't available, are they? So Martinez is out for 2 to 3 months. Malacia is out for 2 to 3 months. Luke Shaw is out for 2 to 3 months. Kobe Mainoo is going to apparently be back in about 2 or 3 weeks, so that's 4 people out. Amad Diallo is going to be back in about 2 or 3 weeks. Who else have we got out at the moment? Is that it from the main squad? I feel like there must be someone else. I think that's it. Obviously, Antony's unavailable through suspension. Sancho's unavailable through disciplinary matters. Who else are we missing? I think that's it. So there's about 7 proper core first team players who are missing from the game today. Rashford's obviously available. Garnacho is. Højlund is. Bruno, Mason Mount, Amrabat. So we have more than a strong enough team to go and beat Crystal Palace today. There's absolutely no excuses. Yes, we have a bit of a difficult moment with injuries and stuff. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it would be nice if we had our best players on the pitch. But if you've got a team with Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount, Højlund, Amrabat, Varane, Onana, Casemiro, like, we should be comfortably beating Crystal Palace at home with that squad. I know the defence is a bit of a mess. That's the main area of worry, I would say. Obviously, Amrabat's going to have to play at left back again because Luke Shaw's injured, Malacia is injured, and now Reguilon's injured. So we've got no left back. Wan-Bissaka's injured as well, actually. I forgot about him. So the defence is the main issue. We're probably going to see either Lindelof and Varane or Maguire and Varane. I think it will... I have a feeling it's going to be Maguire and Varane, I just have this funny feeling. I think Maguire played well against Crystal Palace the other day. I think he deserves to start the match. And I'm not the biggest fan of Harry Maguire. I'm really not. But I genuinely think that we might see a Harry Maguire and Varane defence against Crystal Palace today. Or it'll be Lindelof and Varane. There is always the possibility as well. I was talking to someone last night who said that it might potentially play 3 at the back. So it could be like it could be Lindelof, Varane and Maguire as a back 3. So almost like a 3-5-3. Is that right? No, 3-5-3 would be 11. Yeah, 3-5-2 I think it is. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What do you think the formation will be? Obviously, Crystal Palace will be playing a lot stronger team than what they did against us in the Cup. There was quite a few of their youth players playing. I'm expecting this to be a more difficult task, but I still think we have enough to go and beat Crystal Palace personally. I know Palace aren't an easy side, but I still think we should be able to beat them. Everyone who's just joined in the last couple of minutes, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. It doesn't cost any money. We're on the road to 20k subscribers. So please do go and subscribe if you haven't already and make sure to smash a like on the video. Right, let's move on to the next story though. Let's talk about this new defender. Now, this is something that I fully endorse because I think a new defender is absolutely essential. Obviously, Raphael Varane is world class in my opinion, but he's definitely injury prone now. I have this worry, right? I don't want to scare people on this Saturday morning. It's a Saturday, let's try and be positive. But this is just my feelings, and obviously this is the point of this channel. It's for us to give our opinions and our feelings. I have a feeling that this Lisandro Martinez thing is now going to become a recurring thing because the injury that Lisandro Martinez has picked up, okay, is his foot. It's exactly the same injury as what he had last season, which saw him out for 2 to 3 months. He came back. He's not played particularly well this season, if I'm honest, right? And I think that's probably because he was injured or he wasn't playing to his full capability because of a niggle or an injury, right? A small injury. I think that this could be a problem going forward. Hopefully I'm wrong, but the fact that he was out for 2 to 3 months, when was it? April, May, like not even that long ago, like 3 months ago. He was out for the whole of the end of last season, right? He had summer off. He comes back. He plays 3 or 4 matches, and then the same injury he picks up again, and he's going to be out for apparently 3 months. So for this calendar year, January to December, he's going to be out for around 6 months with the same injury. 3 months in 1 point and another 3 months later down the line. And obviously that is a concern. And Erik ten Hag was actually talking about this as well. Not specifically about, well, actually, no, sorry, he was. He said, so we did a proper diagnostic and they did one in Argentina as well. It came out that there was a problem. That's very sad. First, of course, for Martinez, but also for the team because he wasn't 100% fit. So yeah, that's obviously not great. He's going to be out for 2 to 3 months. And he also talks about injuries as well. He says, I think that at centre-back position, we don't have a problem. It's more at the fullback positions that we have problems. I do somewhat agree with that, to be honest. I think we do have enough options at centre-back, you know. Whether you like Harry Maguire or not, we paid £80 million for him. We should be at least trying to give him a bit of game time, considering the situation we're in at the moment. You know, we have to utilise the players we have in front of us. It's easy for us to complain and say, oh, we've got, you know, Martinez is injured. Oh, but he hasn't been particularly good this season anyway. So obviously I'd rather Martinez play than Varane, but this is the opportunity for Harry Maguire to step up. If he wants to get in that Euros team with England this summer, if he wants to be the starting centre-back, he needs to play well for Manchester United in this opportunity, doesn't he? But let's talk about who we could be looking to sign in the centre-back position, because Fabrizio Romano has been talking about the centre-back situation at Manchester United, and he has said the following. He says, internal discussions are now underway regarding signing a new centre-back next summer. He says Jean-Claire Todibo, Edmund Tapsoba and Antonio Silva are all on the list. Now, I want to run through these options with you really, really quickly. Obviously, Jean-Claire Todibo was the name that was linked to us all summer. I think he's a decent player. I do. I think he's a good player. I would not say he's my number one target, though. My number one target, as you guys will know, is Antonio Silva from Benfica. He is absolutely unbelievable. 18 years of age, already in the Portuguese national team, already obviously playing a lot of games for Benfica, a lot, you know, in the Champions League. He gets goals as well, which is surprising. He's just turned 19 years of age. Let's have a look. So how many games did he play last season? He's already played 8 games this season. I think he's played in every single game for Benfica. He's going to cost a lot of money, though. I think he's going to cost at least £50 million for Antonio Silva. So last season, right, at the age of 18, he played 46 games at the age of 18. That is absolutely mental. He played 10 games in the Champions League, scoring 2 goals, 30 games in the Portuguese League, scoring 3 goals, and then played in all the other cups and competitions as well. 46 games at the age of 18. I mean, that is unbelievable. And let's be honest, right? You could say, oh, it's the Portuguese League, but he played in the Champions League and looked good in the Champions League. So for me, it 100% has to be Antonio Silva. Whether that will be in January or not, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, if Harry Maguire leaves in January, which he might do, then potentially we move in for him. But as I said to you a couple of minutes ago, right? I honestly think now Rafael Varane is injury prone, and I have this fear that Martinez is going to be injury prone as well. I feel like whatever this injury is with his foot, the fact that he's been out for 3 months, he comes back for 5 games, and then he's going to be out for another 5 months. Like, that isn't normal, is it? That is a massive, massive concern. And I just hope and pray that this isn't something that he just is now stuck with for the rest of his career. Because he's only 25 years of age. He's definitely one of our best players, if not our best centre-back of last season alongside Varane. We paid a lot of money for him. I know that's not his fault, but it's not great, is it? You know, if we've had him here we signed him in the summer last season, and of his first full year, pretty much, he's going to be out for 6 months of it. I mean, it's not ideal, is it? I know he played a lot of game time last season. I know, obviously, he played for Argentina in the World Cup. He went all the way to the final and won it. So the amount of games that was played last season must have taken a massive toll on all of these players, especially the ones who competed in the World Cup and all the rest of it. But let me know what you guys think about that one. Who would be your preferred signing in the centre-back position? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'm going to read out a couple of your chats now. Al says the Arsenal doctor doesn't seem to have done anything for the team. Yeah, I was thinking that the other day, you know. For anybody who's unaware, we got this doctor from Arsenal called Gary O'Driscoll, who is apparently regarded as one of the best doctors in world football, apparently. He's been at Arsenal for 10 plus years. Loads of other clubs were interested in getting him, and apparently Manchester United had got him, right? He started the job, I think, 2 weeks ago. I was really hoping that we'd see loads of people back from injury, loads of, you know, issues resolved. It hasn't really happened yet, but I mean, he has only been here for 2 weeks, and he's not a magician, is he? He's not gonna come in, wave his magic stick, and then suddenly all these players are back from injury. I mean, it's probably quite unrealistic, isn't it? But we'll have to wait and see. Rush says historically, I think Martinez's injury history is okay. Yeah, his injury history was completely fine before he came to Manchester United. But my point is, right, this injury that he's out with now is the same injury as what he was out with last season. It's exactly the same. It's in his foot. And that is the concern. You okay, dog? I see you. The dog's just come up. Ozzy, have a look. Oh, there we go. Here's the dog. Everyone wants to see the dog. The dog is here. Say something, dog, on the mic. Yeah, so it's definitely a bit of a concern, really. But let me know what you guys think. Who would be your preferred option in the? Would it be in January, or would you try and get somebody, or would you think we can wait till the summer? You can't really see the dog, can you? See if we can show you. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Maybe we should. Oh, you can see him now. There he is. Good boy. Right, let's see what people are saying. See what people are saying in this chat. Sylvester says it's really funny. Studio says someone on loan in January, then go for Antonio in the summer. Yeah, I think that would be good. I think we desperately do need to bring someone in for sure. It just concerns me with the amount of games we're going to have to play. You know, the fact that we'll have Champions League games. We're obviously going to have. I reckon we're going to go quite far in the League Cup. I think we might go quite far in the FA Cup, and I think that we desperately do need to bring in some options before the January transfer window closes. I know we're only in October now. It's October tomorrow, isn't it? But we need to be starting prioritising that. We need to be starting to prioritise those positions really, really desperately, I think, because if we get any more injuries in those positions, if, you know, Varane gets injured, if Martinez gets injured, sorry, not Martinez, if Lindelof gets injured, like, what are we going to do then? It's literally going to be a centre-back partnership of Harry Maguire and Lindelof, which it just reminds me of what happens under Ollie. It's really not what we want. But yeah, here's the dog. Everyone keeps asking to see the dog. He's finally decided to come up, and he is part of the video. So yeah, smash a like on the video if you like the dog. He's being very calm. Usually he just comes up and steals my socks and then runs off, but he seems quite happy to be on the video today. Right, let's see what people are saying. Somebody says we need Maguire to not score any own goals. I mean, the thing is, right, we need to just get behind our players now. Like, we're in this situation. We've got a real difficult left-back, centre-back situation going on right now, and we just need these people, these Maguires, these people who say they don't need to prove themselves. We need them to pull through. We need them to put in some, 8 out of 10 performances consistently. That's just what we need really going forward, isn't it? We really, really need that to happen. Let's see what people are saying. Somebody says, why has the dog got a beard? Are you calling me the dog? I mean, maybe. Antony says, Gonzalo Inacio from Sporting Lisbon is also a good defender. We need to sign at least 2 defenders in January and 1 in the summer. Wow. I would agree that we need a left-back or a right-back and a centre-back, to be fair. It just all depends on budget restraints. I would probably look at someone like Jeremy Frimpong to offer more of an attacking option. Somebody says, what's the breed of the dog? The dog's breed, I'll put it in the chat. It's a dog that you probably don't see. I've just put it in the chat. So the dog's breed is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. It's a pure breed dog. So it's from Stafford, which is in the Midlands of the UK. Very, very, very loving dog. Very loves humans. Very affectionate. Quite small. They're very small, but they're quite strong. Right, let's see what else people are saying. Jennifer says, Maguire will start scoring own goals. Please sell him. Come on. We've got to give our players some support here. We've got to give them a bit of backing. Like, it's all good and well us, having a bit of a laugh. Like, that's fine. But, we're in the situation where we are. We need Harry Maguire to... We need him to just play well, don't we? I know that sounds a bit obvious, but... Yeah, so on the topic of dogs, I'm currently looking at oh, you trying to go down? I've just seen a picture pop up on my Twitter of Avram Glazer walking a dog in a pushchair in New York. So he's got a dog in a pushchair and he's walking it around in New York. Let me see if I can put this up on the screen for you, because I think you have to see this, to be honest. Hold on. It's worth the wait. And this isn't photoshopped or anything, all right? So before people are like, what the hell is this guy doing? I just seen this pop up on Twitter. Oh. Oh no, what have I done? There we go. Look at that. Have a look at that, everyone. Let me know what you think of that. There we go. Oh, wait until you see what's about to pop up on your screen. Sorry, it's gone off on a bit of a tangent here, but I know we're talking about dogs, so I thought you might want to see that. That is Avram Glazer walking his dog in a pushchair in New York. Now, if that doesn't cheer you up on this morning, then I don't know what will, to be honest. I mean, that is something that is I'm literally speechless, to be honest. Why would you anyway? Sorry, I just thought I'd bring a bit of a laugh into the show this morning. You know, we've got to have a bit of fun, don't we? Somebody says, which one is the dog? Oh God. Let's see what else people are saying. Jennifer says we need to start playing Donny van der Beek now. He's too good. I don't know what it is with Donny. I just think it's Donny's career at Manchester United is over, to be honest. I feel like he doesn't have that hunger anymore. Whenever he comes on the pitch, he doesn't look particularly convincing to me. Obviously, I'll always give our players a chance. You know, I hope he does well. I hope he can actually make. I hope he can, you know, make a bit of a comeback, but I just don't think it will. Yeah. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me on the show this morning. As I said earlier on, I will not be doing a watch along for the Crystal Palace game, as I've got to go somewhere at 3 o'clock for a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record the game, or in fact I'm gonna start the game, pause it, go out, come back, and then watch it from the beginning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my phone off or turn the Bluetooth Wi-Fi off, so I don't get any updates. Come back and then watch it from the beginning. But there won't be any watch along today. I will do a video this evening though, about 6 o'clock, obviously, where we can talk about the game and all the rest of it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the guest appearance from my dog. Maybe he'll come back again, maybe he won't. Usually he doesn't want to sit on my lap and be on the camera. For some reason, he's camera shy. If you take a photo of him or a video of him, he gets really upset. Very strange. But thank you so much to everybody. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll catch you all later.